when we're actually talking about search engine optimizations, there's two things that we have to look at. First one is search engine submission. The second one is search engine optimization. So first of all, we'll talk about search engine submission. So in order for you to optimize your position on the search engine, you first of all have to be recognized by a search engine. So how do you do that? There used to be this old adage, if you build it, they will come. Okay, so if you just build a website and don't do anything else, will you get recognized by a search engine? The answer is probably, but it depends on other factors. So if you're after spending time, effort, money, resources, etc., building a website, you don't want to be leaving it in the hands of somebody else as to whether you get recognized and get picked up by a search engine. So it's very important that we actually are proactive about this, and we go to the search engine and let them know that we're there. In many cases, this is free, but there's many different ways of doing it. So I'm just going to explain a few of them and then talk about maybe the ones that we probably should be using. So the second step here is obviously search engine optimization. So once you are on a search engine, it's about optimizing it for the types of keywords that your audience are going to be searching for. So it's about understanding what they are searching for, understanding their wants and their needs, and obviously optimizing for those particular keywords, etc. So the first thing we look at is search engine submission. So how do we do it, okay? And how much does it cost? Does it cost money? Well, for starters here, I'm just going to have a look at a very simple grid here. Search engines and directories. Now, this is the first time that we've mentioned directories, and to be quite honest, if I pop up a few directories here, a lot of people say, well, they're search engines. They're actually not. There's two different things that we've got to figure out and understand about the difference between a search engine and a directory. Well, for starters, I'm just going to give you a list of search engines. Google, Yahoo, Bing, Baidu, Lycos, DuckDuckGo, Yandex, all of these are search engines, okay? What are they? Well, these are... like just picture Google for a second. It is a search box, and when you go to it, you type in keywords and you search, and it will go to its index, which is a database that it's already created of all the websites that it has crawled around and gathered information from. And it will match your keywords to its criteria, which in the case of Google, there's well over 200 different criteria. And it will give you back the best website that matches your terms in its opinion. Okay, so that's what a search engine does. What does a directory do? Well, a directory is a bit like the Yellow Pages. Okay, when you go to something like Yahoo, you might be looking for Hotel Dublin. So it actually is a bit like the Yellow Pages, where you go into Hotel Dublin and it will have a list of these. Now, that's the main difference between the two. One is a searchable keyword type scenario. The other word is an index, where you like a Yellow Pages, where you search by category. Okay. The second thing, which is worth looking at and very important, is that search engines send out spiders, which are programs, software programs, to actually crawl your website and gather the information, where directories send out human beings. Okay, so a human being will actually come out to your directory or come out to your site and will look at it and will categorize your site based on the content that it has. Whereas a search engine will index your site based on a search of the words within the site. Okay, so there are quite big, large differences between the two. So with that in mind, it might explain a couple of things when it comes to cost. Okay, so search engines are spider-based, directories are human-based, okay? So when you look at search engines, I've got a little $sign besides the ones that actually you pay to get included in, okay? So the likes of Google and Bing are free, AOL and so on, these are free. But then there's what are known as meta search engines, which are kind of like you see Webcrawler, Metacrawler, Dogpile, those kind of search engines. What they do is they compile the best results from other search engines. So they will go to the likes of Google and Bing and get their top and compile them together and churn out a different result. Okay, so they're kind of like, as I say, a meta search. They will search other ones. So even though you might have to pay to get onto Webcrawler or Metacrawler, remember, if you're doing well in Google and Bing, you'll appear on Webcrawler and Metacrawler too. Okay, so keep that in mind. So in a lot of cases, the search engines, you don't pay for them. They're free. Okay, and you can see if you look on the right hand side with the directories, there's quite a few dollar symbols after a lot of these. So you actually pay for these. Remember, human versus spider. Therefore, there's more cost involved in these. Okay, so a lot of people turn around and say, listen, I'm not really interested in getting myself on a directory. I'm really interested in getting myself on a search engine. But what you must remember here is that some of the criteria for the search engines look at whether you're actually present on directories. Okay, so my advice would always be to make sure that you get yourself onto a few of these directories. And the two that I would absolutely advise you to get involved in are Alexa up here, which is free, and DMOZ down here, which is free. Okay, so I would go to both of these and I would actually, sign up. Okay, and the process is fairly straightforward to do so. Okay, so what I'm saying is by far the most common search engines are free. So we'll probably stick with those unless you know for specifically that your target market or your audience are using Excite or InfoSpace or something like this, that you make sure that you need to get on those. So how do you do it? Okay, again, there's a number of steps. All right, so there's apps out there or pieces of software out there that will help us to create these things. And then there's obviously websites that will also help us to do this. Some of these are you pay for them, and some of them are free. So we'll have a look at them here for a second. So with regards to the actual software, what they will do is they'll sign you up to a lot of different search engines. Okay. And there's hundreds and hundreds of search engines, as it turns out. So they'll sign you up. You fill out a form and it'll sign you up. And some of these will charge you for certain sites, and then will be free for other ones, and so on. Okay. Then there's websites. So here's an example here of entireweb.com. There's a free submission which will submit you to about 8 or 10 sites for free. Okay. It's a very quick way of doing it, but my advice would always be to anybody who wants to do this properly is to do individual site submissions. Okay, and that means literally going to the sites, the search engines that you want to be part of, and then individually submitting your URL and sometimes filling out a brief form. Okay, and as you can see here, there's a list of them there. You just Google them and submit your site to Google and whatever. It'll give you a list of all the other ones. Okay, and that would be my advice. It's free to do so. It's a fairly straightforward process. Google is by probably the only one that's a little bit different, and there's a reason for this. We'll talk about that, and we'll actually do it right now. But they actually have a search console that they use, and we'll talk about that in a few minutes. Okay. So for starters, how do you know if your site is already registered with the search engine? Well, you go and you type in site : and the name of your site, okay? And that will tell you whether your site is actually registered with Google, okay? So if you can see this here, I've typed in site : Eurocreating, which was a conference we ran, .org, and you can see that when you press return, you see a list of, yes, it is registered. These are the domain names below that, and so on. This is not a normal search. This is a site search, which means you're checking for a URL. Okay. I'll show you another one here, which is when the site isn't there. Okay. So in this case here, I typed in site : Eurocre21.org, and at the time that site wasn't registered with the search engine with Google, and I typed it into Google, and it says try Google Search Console. Your site did not match any documents. In other words, the actual domain name was not registered with them. Okay, so that's a very simple way of finding out whether your site is registered with the search engine. So site : and the name of your site. Okay, and in this case it wasn't. So it's prompting us to go to the Google Search Console. Okay, and I'm just going to go to that right now, and we'll have a look at how that works, and we'll see what happens. Okay. So the Google Search Console is a website which will help us to not only register our site with the search engine, but also will help us manage our site over time. Now, the second part of that is really important. It will help us manage our site. And because of that, they will get you to verify that you own the site. Okay? A bit like what we do, you know yourself, when you sign up to something to get you to verify your email, or sometimes verify your mobile number, whatever the case might be. That's to check that you are not a bot, you're a human being, but also that the information you're giving them is correct and is yours. Okay. So the Google Search Console does exactly that. You have to verify that the site that you're registering is actually yours and you've got ownership and management of it. And the reason for that is because of what it offers you after that. Once you can verify that it actually is your site, then it gives you access to Google Analytics, which allows you to be able to see how many visitors come to the site, how often, where they come from, what they do, where they go, what kind of software they're using, what kind of hardware they're using, and lots more. So in other words, you can even see their click-through rates on different things. You can even see the looker to booker ratios. You can see all of these things. A lot of in-depth analytics goes along with it. And the reason it gets you to verify this is because you, like anybody, if it was your site, you wouldn't want this information to be given to anyone willy-nilly. So you have to verify that it is you and it is your site and you have got management of it before they give you access to all this information. So the Google Search Console is not only a way of registering your site with the search engine, it also allows you all this huge amount of information that comes with it. Okay, so I'm going to click on this and I'm going to go to the actual Google Search Console. Okay. Okay, now we have a live site here. Okay, so I'm just going to go into Start Now, and what it will do is it will give you this here, and I'm just going to type in, it's asking me to register a domain. So if I come along here and go www.eurocree22.org, and I'll go continue. Okay, now this is the point where it actually will turn around and say, are you sure, or do you want to verify this? So I'm going to continue this, checking verification. Okay, now, so what we need to do is, it's like anything else. It's like when somebody sends you a verifying email, you have to respond to it from the email address. Okay, in this case, what they're actually getting you to do is they're getting you to copy this little file here and to post it up onto eurocree22.org. Okay, in the home folder. Okay, so if you can do that, then you're actually saying, yes, I have access to this, and you're proving that you have access and you've management rights to this actual website. Now, at the moment, I can honestly say I don't have rights to eurocree22.org and I don't own that website, so I can't do this. But if I could, I would just put up that and then go verify, and then it will let me in and it will give me access to eurocree22.org from now on. Okay, and all the information that's placed on it and all the actual analytics that's got from it. So that will give me a list of that. So I'm going to say verify later because I can't access it right now. Okay, the same would be if you have a prefix. So it would be, in this case, if I not only wanted to register eurocree22.org, but I wanted to register eurocree22.org/conference and / social and different aspects of the website. So I can register different actual subdomains if I want to. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the slideshow here and just have a look at this for a second. So I'm just going to show you, if I was able to register it, I would get information such as this here. Okay, so I have access to eurocree18, and because I have access to eurocree18, I can actually turn around and you can see here that it allows me access to the sitemap. It can show me what's going on here with the total clicks and impressions, and you can get access to a lot more information. So really, it's very, very important for us to make sure that we actually have, access to this. And if we own it, to register it, make sure you register your search. Register with the search engine. Okay. So with that in mind, we go ahead and you can see you have to verify it, okay? So we'll see much later on in the course how useful this will be, because we'll have a section on looking at Google Analytics and the importance of that, okay? So just going back to that, if we don't do anything, if we don't register our site with a search engine, if we just sit there and wait, what will happen? Well, as we've seen, what does a search engine do? It sends out a spider to websites, and that spider will not only look within the page for content and gather that, but will also follow all the links from that page to other pages, and then follow all the links from those pages to other pages, and then to other pages, and so on. So again, it's a bit like a spider and a web. It will actually crawl and keep crawling as long as there's links going to these and from these pages, which is why it's so important for us to make sure that we link to other sites, and more importantly, other sites link to us. So even if we don't register with a search engine, hopefully some of these other sites will be registered with search engines, and the spider will crawl from those sites to our site by way of links, okay? But to, bypass all of that messing around, I would always advise you to go and to sign up to a search engine, okay? Google, because it has the Google console, will get you to verify your site. Most other search engines won't. So in the case of Bing, you go in there and you type in your URL and you go submit, and that's it. They will send out a spider, okay? And they will also say that this spider will be sent out anytime up to 6 weeks after the date you actually register. So it won't happen today, it won't happen tomorrow, or it may not happen tomorrow, okay? So my advice to you would be, if you're going to launch a site in 2 months' time, start thinking about your actual site and have it prepared, have it ready to go well in advance. And I would even go as far as submitting it to search engines well in advance, so that it will appear on search engines and so on, okay? If you want to launch it on a certain day, you could of course have a pre-launch page and then change it to the launch page on a certain day or whatever. But I would definitely go about submitting it to search engines prior to that, and so on.